Okay, I stated that under no circumstances, no conditions would I share this with anybody. It's been a long time since I've played by myself, but I've been asked by Jean Reed, thank you, to play at the Nashville Songwriters Association local chapter. They meet on the first Monday of every month and at Hibernia Irish Tavern. If you happen to see this and you want to come out and check it out. Trying to get my voice back in shape. I've had some bronchial mystery illness since Christmas, and it's January 18th. Goodness gracious, and I haven't sung this song in a long time. I'm trying to put together my set of 4 songs, and I was trying to find my round and round and a song called Resistance. I haven't quite finished. A song called Dance with Me in a Hurricane. I think it's Waltz with Me in a Hurricane. Haven't found those, but Winter Smiles came back to me. So Justin Patterson, those of you who know him, the other half of Tenpenny Gypsy, I guess that makes him a nickel's worth, is a very loyal employee. He's loyal to his employer. He's loyal to his 91-year-old mother, his good son, loyal to his music. And I used to think, where do I fit in all that? But guess what? He's loyal to me too. And though he just never missed a day of work, so even if there was a snowstorm, he would call his boss to come get him. He must have had a vehicle, a truck or something that could get him to the office. And I probably was maybe left at his house alone, boo-hoo, during a snowstorm. Oh, I felt so poor, pitiful me. And was feeling kind of gloomy. Which back then I felt often, to be honest. I'm somebody who's dealt with depression a lot of my life, but good news, I've got some amazing tools. Not just because I'm a psychotherapist. I practice what I preach to my clients, but ACA Adult Children, the group has given me the ability to reparent myself with humor, love, respect, and gentleness. That may sound weird to think, I've got an inner child in there who's been wounded all her life. I've got an adolescent in there who's badass. Kind of recently met that part, yay, who doesn't need some badass? And they needed a loving parent's presence. They needed something I didn't get a lot of in my youth. Anyway, so this is one gloomy morning. I felt sorry for myself. I'm all alone at Justin's. And I walked into his guest bathroom in my gloom, into the bathroom. And the sunlight was streaming in through the window. And that started the song. Can you see the sunlight streaming in through the window, lighting up the room? Can you hear the angels? Okay, so I needed probably hear them. I needed the angels' help. I call on them whenever I need some assistance because I'm stuck in some frame of mind I don't want to be in. Thank you, angels, for listening and coming to my aid. I'm a lucky one. I believe in them and they're real for me. Whatever else has gone on in my life, God, I might use the word higher power now, Al-Anon, ACA, just to speak a universal language. I might use a universe. I might use Great Spirit. I might use Mother Ixchel, Grandmother Shmukane, some Mayan, from my Mayan studies. To me, they're all one and the same. The angels. So it wasn't that I was hearing them. I'm not someone who can see, but I can sense. So I think it was feel. Can you feel the angels gather round to greet you, chase away any gloom? I definitely needed them to chase away the gloom. And this next part, I must have gone back to Hot Springs. I must have been living in Hot Springs. Justin loves to tease me how I say that with the emphasis on hot, I guess. That's not how you say it in Arkansas, even though I've been here for 20 plus years, 25 plus years. I was living in a condo on TV Hill. Yes, that was the name of the street. And I don't know if this was literally the same snowstorm, because I don't know how I would have gotten from Justin's to Hot Springs, but I remember being snowed in there for five days straight. And I remember the first time I tried to get out, I slipped on my stairs. In fact, I can remember carrying my guitar. Fortunately, it was in its case. Oh, no harm done that I know of. They, Jesse, used to, still, just, I don't know, it almost always keeps it in tune. I don't know how that's possible, and still sounds better than any other instrument I pick up to play. My instrument of choice. Although I've been playing the ukulele a lot in years past, but I digress, as I often do. I love to tell stories and just, float all over the map, all over the board. Anyway, this next part, I was in Hot Springs, and who can't be cheered up when you're looking at moonlight glistening on the fresh fallen snow, when you're listening to the sound of a bluebird singing. I think I'm not mistaken. I think those are one of the only birds I see around during winter in Arkansas. But I'm pretty sure I actually saw a bluebird and heard bird song, and I'm like, oh, that pulls me out of my gloom for sure. Can you see the moonlight glisten on the fresh falling snow? Can you hear the bluebird singing up on the treetop, letting his world know? The bluebird had to let the world know, because heaven knows I couldn't at that time. In Arkansas, if you've ever been here in the winter, even though it's called the natural state, when the leaves are gone and it's not very green in the winter, it looks like a bomb went off. It's kind of desolate. And you might, if you're in your gloom, you might feel like, for those of you who have experienced depression, you know what I'm talking about. You know that sunlight will help you. It'll produce more serotonin, I think it is, and you can see it out your window, or you can see that light switch on the wall. And if you were in the light instead of in the dark, that would help. And you can't take those 3 steps to the light switch and flip it. You can't take those few steps to get outside into the sunlight. And it feels like there's just no hope around. And it may be the sunlight that you see streaming through the window. It may be the bluebird that you hear. It may be the moonlight glistening on the fresh fallen snow. It may be that you finally feel the angels gathered around you. They're around us all the time, whether we're conscious of it or not. That's the good news. It's 2026, y'all, and January 1st I started reading a book by Anthony De Mello called Awareness. And it's been a hard read, because he says waking up is uncomfortable. Most of us want to stay asleep comfortably in our beds, so we sleepwalk through life. We put conditions on our happiness. We think, I can only be happy if I have this and this and that. And give me my wife back. Give me that job. Give me my truck back. Give me my dog back. Sounds like a country song, doesn't it? Give me that. When I'll be happy when I get that other house. I'll be happy when I have different friends. I don't know. I'll be happy when I travel to fill in the blank. Conditions on our happiness. Now, I tend to think joy is eternal, and joy comes from the divine. But in the book, he talks about he says nobody really wants to be happy. Nobody comes to therapy, and I'm a therapist, that was bad news, to actually change, because it's uncomfortable to change. Does that sound true? You might resist that message. You might say, I'm not sleepwalking through life. What are you talking about? What does that mean? Wake up. What does it mean? What do you mean I don't want to be happy? Everybody wants to be happy. Even the Dalai Lama said, that's the thing that kind of it's a universal theme. We all want to be happy and avoid suffering. That's what makes us all alike. And Anthony suggests, yeah, but we put conditions on our happiness when happiness is all around us. Beauty is all around us. The angels are all around us all the time. My dear friend who gave me the angel book, angel numbers book, was it just last year? Kyle Gray, I think it's 144, talks about You want to call in 100,000 angels to surround you and support you. Just say 144. How does Kyle know that? I don't know. But even if it's a placebo effect, or I'm just imagining it, or I saw, I don't think it was TikTok, Facebook, something, and somebody was talking about the woo. I don't know. She was talking about something that somebody else thought was a little too woo-woo, and at the end of that video, she said, y'all, isn't all of life pretty woo-woo? She said, do the woo, do the woo. I need to start hashtagging my videos, I think everything I talk about in my videos is pretty woo. It's pretty out there. But you want to do the woo with me? Man, how far am I going to get away from playing the song? It's okay, Even though I wasn't going to share any of me playing, as my vocal is kind of weak right now. I'm not at my best. Why would I want to share this? But on my YouTube channel, on my previous one, Laura Lynn on Mindfulness, Meditation, and Mantras, I shared all the tools I used to help me back in the days when I woke up nearly every morning depressed, and I needed some help changing that channel in my brain. When I got locked out of that one, I finally got the courage. For some reason, it took courage to kick off my new channel, I Amming as LLD. And I think I was afraid because I believed at that time, and it felt not like a belief, but a knowing, with a capital K, an inner knowing, that the divine lives in all of us. And even if that doesn't feel true for you, or if that's not a language you relate to, the divine lives in me and in you. The divine is expressing as and in the form of Laura Lynn Danley. And fill in the blank with your name. I amming as Laura Lynn Danley. And where was I going with that? Why was I bringing it up? So on my channels, I've always, I want to be authentic. There's no other point for me in making these videos. That's why I proceed, I think, through reading through this book that's been uncomfortable for me, and perhaps for you, when it's my desire to be uplifting and encouraging and inspiring and positive. Keep questioning why I'm reading this book that makes us uncomfortable. And again, what does that have to do? Oh, because I was talking about the Angel Numbers book, thank you, named he, they, who shall not be named. 100,000 angels. Sometimes we need to just feel the angels around us. But I was headed into the chorus when we're buried, we feel like we're buried beneath gloom, beneath depression, beneath the frozen ground. Buried in this wonderland, beneath the frozen ground, lies the seed of springtime. It's been there all along. Other verses. I better learn them before February 2nd if I haven't already said on this video. And you live locally in Arkansas at Hibernia Irish Tavern on the first Monday of every month, the local chapter of Nashville Songwriters Association gathers and showcases local songwriters. And I hope I won't chicken out, and I hope I won't call it chicken out if I don't sing, because I don't have a strong vocal right now, and I would rather present as a songwriter and personally as a singer, with a full voice. So what was the next? It was like some more woo-woo, I'm pretty sure. Now let's start at the top of this song and see if the verses come when I don't stop myself. Can you see the moonlight streaming in through the window, lighting up? Oh, I said I wasn't going to stop myself. And true to form on my channel, I jump all over the place. I'm never scripted. I don't always know where I'm going. And for some reason, I'm looking at the camera and I'm remembering I've got on a really old t-shirt from one of my songwriter buddies I met at the Frank Brown International Songwriting Festival in Gulf Shores, Orange Beach. Back when Rena Wren and Laura Lynn went and showcased our music. Lucky Dogs! Johnny Barbados. Can you see the moonlight glisten upon the fresh falling snow? Can you hear the bluebird singing up on the treetops, letting his world know? Seed of springtime has been there all along. The winter smiles all the while. Winter smiles all I love you, and I'm going to pause. I do have a songbook that has all my lyrics in it. And now I'm aware of that bear. My mom bought my 30, are you over 30 years old now, Jillian? That bear, when she was visiting Arkansas on Mom's 80th birthday, and Jillian didn't want to take that back to, she didn't want to fly home with it. So it sits on my couch, and it makes me think about you. I love you. I don't call you or reach out often enough, but I think about you often, and I love you. Gonna pause, gonna see if I can find the rest of the words to the rest of this song. Hang in there. I hope you keep listening along. I'm so not Southern. Ever watch one of those unpacking videos? I did a New Year's tarot reading. Yes, I said tarot, do the woo. With one of my favorite decks from Teresina and Martin Balkans, the 5th Tarot, bringing back ether, spirit, to the traditional decks that have only had 4 elements for quite some time now. But I feel like this is an unpacking, and again, not embarrassed. I'm just tattling on myself that I haven't opened these in a long time. I haven't picked up my guitar much since Sounds of Unity. We lost our venue, but hey, April, y'all, we got an invitation to I think I can say what used to be Pulaski Heights Baptist. I think just last week they turned over their building to a local coalition, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what the name is. The Hillcrest Community. I'll have to find out more before we kick off Sounds of Unity again, hopefully in April 2026. The corner of Cedar and Kavanaugh Hillcrest. It'll be, about to lose my tray with my tea on it. Man, my videos, last year my goal was to make them 10 minutes or less, and apparently this year my goal is to make them as long as possible and see how much you love me and if you're willing to hang in there. All right, so we open up the first book. Cool. Let's see if I can take this out of here. This isn't the real bright one, but look at this. Most of you don't know because I think most songwriters are poets. How could we not be? Really. I mean, most of my music came from my journal. It might have started as a poem. So I started a book of my poems. Oh man. And this one, again, talk about do the woo. I wrote this. I started the book of poetry, it looks like in 2011, but I think I wrote this poem in like 1998 maybe. I was still living in San Diego, so it must have been right before I moved here. And making a splash. Oh, that's at the top of it. Isn't that a cool image? That's me. Fall stod. I still need you. I need a guide from my stronger side. Let me climb upon your back and ride into the depths of the abyss. Goddess of the underworld, grant me this. True wisdom, true connectedness with every part of self, from gremlin to God. Y'all, I didn't even know what I was writing back then. I wouldn't say I was very awake. And if you've learned anything from my videos, any language I use, first of all, take what you like and leave the rest. It's one of our sayings from Al-Anon and ACA. I am not your authority. I do not hold the key to your truth. Anthony De Mello, one of the things I've been reading this year, says, we glimpse it. Truth is not found in words. We glimpse it through a certain attitude of openness and willingness to learn something new. Why am I saying that? Do the do, fall stod. I was living in San Diego and it's time of my life. I was really struggling. I was in a very dark place and I don't remember if I dreamt this because it sure felt like a waking dream. But I saw this image in my head and it didn't feel like just a daydream. It didn't feel like a fantasy, an illusion. It felt very, very real, and it is real for me. And Falstad is a centaur, and I believe one of my spirit. I don't think he'd call himself an animal. You know what a centaur is? Half horse, half man. Spirit guide. And back then, even though you would have never, the journals I had back then probably, I literally have a journal. Let's see if you can see over here. This bookcase over there is loaded with journals. Y'all forgive me, still struggling. And over my lifetime, I'm pretty sure there's one in there, but every single page, every single day, there's I think I just quoted the Bible. I don't think I wrote about my own thoughts or feelings or even commented on what I read. I was just quoting scripture. That's what was going on in my life at that time. I realized as I'm looking at that, when I was living with Lisa Mayer in Hot Springs on Lake Hamilton, I think I told Rena and Justin at that time, and I said, y'all, if I just die suddenly, mysteriously, would you get a hold of my journals and publish something? Oh, you know what's normally even sitting on there is Marina. I can't think of your last name all of a sudden, but this amazing writer who had many accomplishments, really young in life, thank goodness, because she unexpectedly died. I think the night of her graduation from college, from Yale, I think. Promising young woman. Normally you can see her face. I feel her presence in my life. Talk about woo. When I first read her book, I felt like she kind of wanted to tag along and enjoy life through me. And I welcomed that. So, yeah, one of these days, say I'm going to publish a journal in my own handwriting, or I'm going to create some kind of collection, like I've thought of the idea of the evolution of a woman's heart as seen through her diaries, her journal writing. What do you think? Comment on that and let me know what you think of that idea. Would you be interested in reading something like that? Would you call it something different? I don't know. All right, so far afield, not unlike the way all of my videos are, right? I don't usually have a microphone in front of my face, though. All right, so this looks like it's just the book of poetry, and not necessarily the book of songs, but let's see. Poetry Index, Ambivalence, Corky's Backyard. Oh, Corky, I haven't seen Corky since I moved here, like 1998 from San Diego. Double Bind, Easy Poison, In the Wait, intersection. Should we just flip open to any page and see? Okay, well, Corky's backyard. Oh, even then I love to use imagery. It was a backyard. I wanted to have a backyard that looked like that. Strangely, I just realized that is the color of my current house. How many times have you heard me say, we dream our tomorrows by what we hold in mind today, or something along that line? It's on my wall. I see it all the time, and it's still not exactly sure of the exact quote. But I had an image back then. My home right now is literally green and terracotta, I would call it. As is this picture. I do not have that table on my back deck just yet. It's coming. I love my house. I love my treehouse. So grateful. Love you. I love you. I love you, Celestine. Corky's backyard, March 2006. The sun shares its warmth and light, kisses my cheek. Oh, the sun shares its warmth and light kisses my cheeks. It says, hi, I'm here. The birds and bees, their song. The wind whispers its message through the leaves rustling nearby. Green splendor sway. New birth on the fuchsia tree. The smell of wood chips neath my feet. And the ground pulling me down. The vast expanse of sky pulling me high. I want to curl into a ball, climb into my cocoon and die. And heal and hide and try. There is no try. There is only do or don't do. I want a motorcycle. I think I had my license plate just be by then. I would have said there is no do. There's just be. Just being. Being being my word for 2026. If you found your word yet, I challenge you. What word? Find a word that reflects something you want more of in this new year, something you want to create, something you want to be, become. My word is being. That was the other thing I thought, when I wanted them to publish my poetry, my journal writings. I remember when I was sitting in that room that I started talking about in Lake Hamilton, beautiful, beautiful home with Lisa, and I thought, I could never leave this room. It was another lovely, lovely place. And y'all, this is a lovely room that I don't come into very often. I'm blessed with a lot of space. It's, some would say a small house, 1,300 square feet, but for one person, it's a mansion, 3 bedrooms. And this is my sanctuary, my music room, my journaling. I would say space, but I don't actually sit in here and journal very often. I've got a wonderful chair to sit and read. Anybody ever wants to come by and sit in it? Do I do it? No, not much. Maybe that's about to change, I hope. Maybe this is the start of that. Because I always wanted to start sharing. It's funny that I was at that time thinking, when I die, someone else can publish it. I must have still, I know you all don't see me as shy. I'm a performer. I've been performing all my life. And yet, I used to contract. I used to hold back. I used to be afraid to share certain aspects of myself. Maybe the parts that do seem a little too woo for most people. I guess one of my promises, I don't know that I made a promise. I just started doing it. And I started doing it years ago, right? Showing little bits of myself, but I was afraid my family would be worried about my soul and eternity. It is well with my soul. I keep assuring them, if they ever watch any of my videos, there are some things in here that would concern them, that wouldn't come across as Christian, studying with a Mayan elder for over 15 years. But I promise it is well with my soul. I promise that I use discernment, that I know what truth is, capital T, in my life. And it may not line up with yours exactly. And I know that's okay, even if you don't. So maybe along with reading to y'all from Anthony De Mello's Awareness and doing the New Year's reading from the 5th Tarot, talk about woo, do the woo. Today, deciding to sing Winter Smiles to you, and maybe I'm going to start reading poetry, like I just read one of my poems, 2 of my poems, Falstad and Corky's Backyard. I don't know that Corky's even ever heard that. I remember exactly what was going on in my life at the time. why I wanted to crawl into my cocoon and die and heal. Ha! Yay! I opened my, should have known, Lulu's, Cosmo's Restaurant and Bar, Orange Beach, Alabama. I should have known. Lucy Buffett's Lulu's, Gulf Shores, Alabama. I should have known that would be the book that my music's in. And the very first song in the cover is Winter Smiles. Yay! I'm going to read this to you like a poem, and then I might come back to singing it, or I might go ahead and say goodbye for now. I got meeting a friend for lunch, and then I try to ask my friends for permission to say their name on the videos before I do, but in this case, Sonia, maybe I won't say your last name. We're going to get together today and learn Red Dirt Girl by Emmylou Harris. Anybody want to hear that song? She said that was a Americana at a time she didn't listen to Americana, and now she just loves it. I call it folk music. But Red Dirt is its own genre that most people don't know that's a genre. Red Dirt music. Don't know if I can do it justice, but Justin Patterson knows the song, and he sure can. So maybe we'll have him sing it instead of us girls. Winter Smiles by Laura Danley. Normally I have the year on here. I don't. So it had to be I was still living in Hot Springs in the condo. So even before I lived with Lisa. So I'm saying 2002? No. I was in a violent, whole other story, relationship. I was on the run when I moved to the condo. 2007, probably like 2009 or 10. I think I met Justin in 2010. Yep, so we're gonna say 2010. I better write that down or I'll forget, huh? We're gonna put a question mark after it. So you already heard a lot of lyrics. I already sang them twice. And I told you what inspired it. The thing I love about Nashville songwriters, I'm going to say it one more time, do a plug. If I decide, if I show up on Monday, February 2nd, if I feel like I'm strong enough a voice. If not, just follow along. First Monday of every month, totally worth going to hear local Arkansas songwriters. It's a songwriter showcase, just like Sounds of Unity that we're going to start up again, probably on the fourth Sunday, 4 o'clock. Fourth Sunday, 4 o'clock. That should be easy to remember in April, I hope. Why not tell the stories of our songs? Winter Smiles. Take a moment to relax. We've been doing that all year in every video. Don't say or do anything until you relax. I can hear tones. I live alone. I don't have the TV on. I don't have the radio on. Ba-dum. 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 I'm going to share that with you just because that's what I'm hearing. Ba-dum. Ba-dum. Almost sounds like a xylophone. Interesting. I don't think a fisherman is capable of giving off a sound unless I'm creating it. Relax. The muscles in your face, relax. You might want to put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Let your jaw drop. Wow. jaw drop. I want to say draw drop. My dad used to do that to me, mix up our words. A cheek cane instead of a keychain. Our jaw drop, not our draw drop. I hope you find me as humorous as I find myself. We all need to laugh more. My friend I'm having lunch with at 11. Okay, explain this. Why was it after, Justin and I went out to the dinner playhouse? That's another way you know how old we're getting. to see the second to last chance ladies league. Anyway, Murray's Dinner Playhouse. Great buffet, great theater. They have an amazing cast in every show I've ever seen there. Again, I digress. Why am I talking about that? I don't even know at the moment. Goofy, laughing at myself. My friend I'm having lunch with at 11. Here's a train of thought. See if I can get back to and connecting them. Anyway, she believes in laughter. She does everything she can to make people smile and to make people laugh everywhere we go, especially when we go out to lunch. La Hacienda or Casa Mañana. Drop into your body. We can still hear those sounds. Do-do, da-do, da-do. Maybe today isn't about relaxing. Maybe it's just about being giddy together. Giddy together. You know my giggle and grin song. I think I've recorded that. Maybe shared it on the channel. If not, we'll get around to it. So can you see the sunlight streaming in through the window, lighting up your room? Can you feel the angels gather round to greet you, chase away any gloom? Can you see the moonlight glisten upon the fresh fallen snow? We haven't had any snow in Arkansas yet. A very mild, sunny, temperate winter so far, thank goodness. Can you hear the bluebird singing up on the treetop, letting his world know? Buried in this wonderland, across these frozen miles, lies the seed of springtime. It's been there all the while, in the winter smiles. All the while, the winter smiles. Can you feel the wind blow gently upon your heart and mind? Can you feel it gently remind you that you are loved sublimely? Buried in this wonderland throughout these frozen miles lies the seed of springtime. It's been there all the while in the winter smiles. Across these miles, these frozen miles, the winter smiles. Can you see the sunlight streaming in through the window, lighting up your room? I thought I wasn't going to come back and sing this one verse that I haven't yet. I had to get out the songbook, and I'm glad I did. Led to some poetry and a whole lot of other jibber jabber, giddy jibber jabber. Can you feel the wind blow gently upon your heart and mind? Can you feel the wind blow gently? Can you feel the wind blow gently upon your heart and mind? Can you feel it gently remind you that you are loved sublime? winter smiles. Can you see the sunlight streaming in through your window, lighting up your room? One last thought. I notice sometimes we close our eyes when we're singing because we're trying to really connect with the song. I'm going to really tattle on myself now. Sometimes I close it when I'm trying to hit a note that's challenging for me to hit. Sometimes I close my eyes when I'm feeling a little embarrassed, like I realized a little while ago. After this bronchitis, after this mysterious illness that I've had since Christmas Day, again, this is January 18th, probably won't post it until January 19th, I don't have much of a voice yet. And it took me most of my life to feel, to accept, admit, allow myself to recognize that I have a beautiful voice. And some people are intimidated by me and my voice. They don't want to sing around me, and I guess they don't realize I feel the same way. Well, we can always compare ourselves to somebody else that we think has a prettier voice. I'd love to be Emmylou Harris, especially when I sing Red Dirt Girls with Sonia. Don't know when. Maybe we can get her to sing it at the first Sounds of Unity when we kick it off on the 4th Sunday at 4 o'clock, April, I don't know the date, I'll have to look it up. But I was closing my eyes because I couldn't beautifully hold out those tunes I normally would. Winter smiles all the while. Winter smiles all the while. Can you see the sunlight streaming in through the window, lighting up the room? Sometimes you just gotta slow down, be gentle with yourself when it comes back. This reparenting tool I've been talking about for a while now, before even this new year started, learning how to become my own loving. That may just sound weird still to people. How do you become your own loving parent? How can you be your own parent? How can you restore or give yourself something maybe you didn't get in childhood from your own well-meaning parents? Do I think my parents loved me? Yeah. There's a time in my life I would have said, no, my dad didn't love me. He just criticized me. He was so harsh. He pointed out my faults, my weaknesses. I grew up believing I was less than, would never measure up. But now I know he loved me. He was doing the best he could with the tools that he had. I didn't know his love language. I didn't hear it, didn't receive it. So I grew up very critical with myself, that harsh inner voice, that wounded inner child. 2 to 12, that hurt adolescent, that angry adolescent. 13 and up, 12 and up. You are now welcome. She's badass. She might say the F word, fuck you, shut up, leave me alone. When people are harsh with me still, I'm going to say, and I don't think he'll ever watch my videos, but he might. I have a brother. Sorry, I'm going to throw you all in there because you won't know which one of the three. He was a lot like my dad. And I don't think he's conscious of that. He might be, but he's also a fierce lover. He was the most tender of my brothers when we were young, I would say. Tender heart. Loved fiercely then, and I believe still loves fiercely. Yet his language hurts almost everyone around him. The pain that he's carried in his life, I had my therapist help me one time. Man, sure didn't think I was going here at the end of this video. I guess it's back to I do these videos for me. I listen back to them when I need my own help, I guess. Definitely being my own reparenting, being my own loving inner parent. I've certainly been my own critical. I had a voice in my head my entire life. I'm 61 now. What? You can see I gotta cover up my roots. Jean David. I had that critical voice that sounded exactly like my dad in my head. It sounds like one of my brothers now. I get sick every time I'm around him. It's really hard. As much as I love him and want to be close to him, I want to help him heal. It took my therapist to help me recognize every time I'm in his presence, I get really sick. Shortly thereafter. I don't want to protect myself from my own brother. I want to be close to him. I want to be close to all the other family members when we gather together. But I fought so hard to be well in this life, and I don't want to sacrifice that anymore. I owe it to myself. Whether or not I owe it to myself or to you, I want to be well for my own sake. And for those of you out there that are waking up with me, who want to be awake for the rest of this life, for the rest of this time on this earth, at this time. My soul chose to come back at this time. You want to hear something really woo? I know. I am a Mayan priestess who agreed to come back at this time to bring the sacred wisdom back to humankind. Right now, we need it. We need to remember. The Mayans have a vibratory language. Is there any surprise that in this lifetime I love music? Still been afraid to share it. I hope that changes. Maybe every day as well as reading to you, I'll start singing to you. I don't know. Whether it's a Mayan mantra, I've been doing that as we read through the book Awareness. Whether it's one of my mainstream songs, who knows where they come from? Round and round inside my mind, it's getting clearer every time. Repetition pulls at me. I wiggle to be free. Repetition, compulsion. Brother, 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 I love you. And I wrote something to you that I never sent because the word abuse would shut you down so fast. You wouldn't hear anything else I said. But I said, I am willing to sit with you in your pain. You may not believe that. You may not believe. I think you feel abandoned by not just our mother. You were the youngest. Another clue. I think you feel abandoned by all of us. When I went off to college, when Steve went off to the military, another clue, you felt abandoned by all of us. And that inner child within you is still in so much pain. And that adolescent within you is so angry at all of us. Even those who weren't around at the time. Your wife, your children were not there then. I know you love them. But you hurt them all the time. With your words, with your criticism, with your harsh dialogue. With that inner critical parent that sounds just like dad. And I know last time I said, man, growing up as Tim Danley's daughter gave me a lot of shit I had to work through. And you said, man, fathers sure get a lot of grief. And they're doing their best to love their family. I love you. I would sit with you in your pain. But I don't want to be around anymore. When your abuser, your critical inner parent, the part of you who learned to be harsh, to protect your heart, to make you strong, maybe that soft inner core, the part of you that was hurting, developed this harsh way of being. You learn to criticize everyone around you to make them wrong, just like Dad used to do. Argue with this if you want. Little big man syndrome. My dad was so short. I believe it was unconscious. There's a reason why I'm a therapist. To help us all learn how to bury, to unbury, to excavate what's buried deep within us, to wake us the fuck up. I want to be awake. I don't care how uncomfortable it is anymore. For the rest of this life, like. And I want to love you. I want to say, but I will not. I hope I don't choose to stick around. Even just walking away, if I'm within earshot and I hear your harshness or your attacks of the people around you, I get sick. And I don't want to choose that anymore for the love of me. And believe it or not, for the love of you. If you're watching this, I'm not really just speaking to my brother right now. Maybe I will send this. Maybe this will be the only way he ever hears my words, because I've been afraid to send it to you. My aha with my therapist, which you would think you're either scared of or angry at therapists. You think it would drive people away from you. If your wife listened to them, she would leave you. Yet she hasn't. And she says she won't. She'll be the one person who never leaves your side, no matter how much pain. And I know you love her. But boy, you can be harsh. Anyone who's watching this right now, man, talk about being all over the board today. We've laughed, we've cried, we've read poetry about centaurs, and we've sung about the winter smiling. I've invited you to the Nashville Songwriters Association local chapter songwriter showcase Monday, February 2nd, if I decide to sing. Maybe that's my commitment to you, even if I can't sing well. Man, I don't want to do it there of all places, but I want to sing whether I sound good or bad for the rest of my life. And I bet you all listening would say I could never sound bad. And I'm learning to believe you, because I believe me now, because I am my own loving inner parent, loving presence, the divine within me that loves me unconditionally and is available to me all the time. And I love you. There's something in here you must have needed to hear today. I love you. I love you. I love you. Coming out on the 4th Sunday in April, 4 o'clock. What used to be the Pulaski Heights Baptist Church on the corner of Cedar and Kavanaugh in Hillcrest. I hope that doesn't scare you away. I know not everybody wants to walk through the doors of church anymore. Many people have been hurt by their time as a child in the church. They felt rejected. They may not have felt Christ consciousness, Christ's love, Christ's unconditional love in that setting, because fallible, human, imperfect human beings didn't love them unconditionally. I hope that you feel my unconditional love. And if you want to get together in 2026, man, I've got so many tools I've been trained to share. Mantras, sound, to help us clear the crud out of our chakras, our energy centers in our bodies, to help us change the channel in our brain, traditional psychotherapeutic tools, woo-woo tools, sound, mantras, meditation, mindfulness, you name it. I'll sing to you, I'll get my guitar out. Whatever it is that you need, we'll find a word together, a mantra that'll help you in your life in 2026. I'll help you find your word. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't to this channel. Welcome if you're a first timer. Stick around, I hope you stick around. Leave a comment, please like it. Give me some feedback. Let me know you're with me for the ride, the read, the sing-along. And send me a private message. Do I know how to do that yet on this channel? Schedule some time with me. Let's be together in love in 2026. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'm still hearing that sound. Doo-doo. I'm going to get up and explore where that's coming from. That's not the sound of the universe, which never ceases. Om, om, om. I've heard that sound, never ceasing sound, and it sounds like remember those old phones we used to take off the hook, leave them, and they would would buzz when they were off the hook. That's what the sound of the universe sounds like to me when I listen. I tune in. It's never ceasing sound. Bye for now, dear ones. Bye for now. Until we meet again.